All right, everybody, welcome to The Independent Mouth. I am your host, Anthony. Today we have another show sliding off from Friday into the weekend. I just wanted to thank everybody. The viewership has gone up. The listeners have increased. And I'm constantly forever grateful and dumbfounded on how many people are enjoying the show and continue to enjoy the show and the amount of love that continues to come around. So I want to make a couple things clear. I do this show for me. I don't do this show for other people. I don't do this show for people specifically. I do this for the audience, and the audience loves when I do the show because I truly enjoy doing the show. There are some instrumental people around this show. Obviously, I'm the host. Obviously, I'm the person who puts out all the marketing. I'm the person who does everything around the show. But there are a couple other people who are diehard fans. I have grown to gain great relationships with as fans, and now they're my friends. They started off as fans, and they are my friends. I want to make it really clear for everybody, I'm here for everybody. I can be friends with everybody. I can be here, do a show. You can reach out to me, have a conversation. I have people doing it every single day. So I know the reason why I say that is because, there are people who maybe want to be part of the show. Just send a message and ask. Just send a message and ask. That's it. So I'll leave that there. And for those people who maybe are wondering, why am I bringing that up? It doesn't pertain to you then. And if it does pertain to you, follow my advice and follow the directions I just gave. Send a message and ask. That's simple. Now, we do want to say, give a couple shout outs and prayers to close friends of the show that are going through some things in their personal life with their families right now. We want to say a prayer if we can. If you don't believe in prayer, that's perfectly fine. I have no judgments against it. I don't care. You believe in what you want to believe. Whatever you can do to send the best vibes possible to people who surround the show, please do it if you can. But now let's get into the show. So, Bill Gates comes out and says he deeply regrets his relationship with Epstein. How come you didn't regret it before? How come all of the denials until you were caught, things on paper, and you had nowhere to run? Now, all of a sudden, you want to take a step back. Now, I'm not going to sit here and make like I know specifically why him and Melinda decided to get a divorce. All I'm going to tell you is I do think that this had something to do with it. I do think that the Ghislaine Maxwell documents that are going to be coming out very soon have his name in it. I think that this was a splitting of assets. I think that this was a distancing act. I think that this was also a protection of those business assets, as well as financial assets, as well as personal assets. That's what this is. He's trying to go on to national TV and distance himself from somebody who is absolutely a wretched human being. And the individual, Ghislaine, who is in custody right now, is right along with that wretched individual, and she holds the keys to every piece of freedom that Bill Gates has. Period. There's no question about that. When the documents come out and you start seeing Clinton's name, you start seeing Bill Gates' name, you start seeing those names, you're going to start to realize that there was a lot more involved. We've been saying that for months. That's fine. You don't have to believe it if you don't want to. You can believe it if you want to. That's perfectly fine. But just to let you know, when those documents come out, we will report it. We've been saying it, and we're on it. So we will get you that information. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty. I'll just give you that fair warning right now. Central Bank of Venezuela announces its digital currency to enter circulation in October. When countries like China and Venezuela are the first movers on central bank digital currency is certainly something we should all look forward to. Really. Because Venezuela has been a pillar of what to do. And so is China. Human rights in Venezuela and China are the lowest that they can possibly be. But those are pillars to moves that are taking place. Also, let's just use a little common sense here. What have I said about digital currency? It's easily manipulated. It's easily money laundering. What do you think China and Venezuela have been doing for years? The same things. They've been infusing Chinese money into the United States to where they can't get out of it, and they constantly have a stronghold. I said that for the last 8 months. Been saying it over and over and over again. So it's not anything new. Just keep an eye on it. We'll see kind of where that goes. China threatens countermeasures following the U.S. arms deal with the country of Taiwan. Here it is. Taiwan is an inalienable part of the Chinese territory. U.S. arms sale to Taiwan severely violates the One China principle and the three China-U.S. joint communiques. China will take legitimate and necessary countermeasures in light of the development of the situation. China has not liked the relationship with Taiwan and the U.S. ever since the beginning. China wants to own Taiwan. Taiwan has its sovereignty given by the U.S. and operates independently. And that was done on purpose. Once again, go back to the human rights. Go back to the socialism. Go back to the communism. All there. What has happened in Venezuela? Tell me. Maduro, all them. What has happened with them? Have you seen anything really good come out of that? Because I haven't. Not even close. UN Special Reporter on Torture, Niles Melzer, announces official intervention after receiving over 100 reports of police brutality against anti-lockdown protesters in Berlin last weekend. Melzer adds, something very fundamental is going wrong. In all regions of the world, the authorities seem to increasingly regard their own population as the enemy. Look here just in the United States. Anybody who decides that they want to make choices for themselves freely like they're supposed to, they're an enemy. Look what's happening in the U.S. right now. Go to the U.S. right now. Go look at it. Go look at anywhere. CNN fired 3 employees who came in who refused to get vaccinated. Zero tolerance policy. So let's talk about that for just 1 second. If 30%, 35 actually I think is the closer number. Remember that 30% number I've been saying for almost a year now. 35% of people entering into hospitals that are getting COVID again have been double vaxxed. Once again, what's the point? If it doesn't stop you from getting it again, if it doesn't stop you from spreading it, if it doesn't stop anything, why get it? By the way, on the test, there is a periodic element, EO. You can look it up. It's a chemical that are on the test. Now, that chemical that is not on the bottom part of the swab, but yet on the stick of the swab, when you put it up over your nose, it will fundamentally change your DNA. That's a fact. So you can go look it up. I'm not going to tell you. I want you to look it up. EO on the nose tests. Google it, check it out, see what you find. But just letting you know that that is there. And if that enters your system, it will fundamentally change your DNA. Apple plans to continuously scan the iPhones for U.S. users for child abuse imagery. The system, dubbed Neural Match, would alert human reviewers if it believes illegal imagery is detected. Security researchers warn once such a system is implemented, the artificial intelligence could be trained to detect any kind of unwanted content. There goes your rights. There it goes. Now, look, this is a catch-22. I'm all for it. Actually, I'm actually all for it because I have nothing to hide. What are you going to get from me? I'm not doing illegal stuff, right? So I find no problem with it. But I'm all for if this is going to protect children, if this is going to protect people, keep people, especially young people away from predators. If that absolutely is going to happen, I'm all for them being able to do that. But the problem is, this once again tampers with the lines of platform versus publisher. Platform versus publisher we've been talking about forever. Are you a platform or are you a publisher? Apple's a platform. They're not a publisher. They're a platform. Right? So this is a whole nother thing. Plus the Apple Store itself, for the amount of money it takes, is under heat. I mean, there's people going after that as well, especially because of that big Fortnite deal and how they were banning Fortnite and other applications, not letting them be found on there. It's a monopoly. It's a monopoly. And we all know it. I don't want them snooping around my private stuff. I don't. Not that I have anything to hide. I just don't want him snooping around my stuff. Billionaire George Soros is funding an initiative to dismantle and replace the Minneapolis Police Department campaign finance records show, and that's according to Fox. That's disgusting. That dude is so dirty. He's such a dirtbag. It's disgusting. Like, I have no... That guy makes me nauseous. Absolutely makes me nauseous. And you know what else makes me nauseous? Canada. Quebec announced that it will introduce vaccine passports for the first province of Canada to do so. PM Trudeau backed the move. And then, immediately after that, the Canadians flipped out. Paris, Germany, flipped out. The protests erupted in Paris after France's constitutional court upheld Macron's COVID pass and mandatory vaccines for healthcare workers and other professionals in other professions today. Huh. You guys, like, is anybody paying attention to all these, outbreaks in other states, other countries? All these protests? All these people so pissed off they're not going to take it anymore? Have you seen those? Because it is all over, man. And if you're not looking, it's okay. I don't expect you to necessarily sit there and look at it. I just want to tell you, it's gross. I feel so bad for those people, and we should be doing it here. I'm not talking about burning down people's places of business. Man, that was a Democratic-run operation. It was also a Republican-run operation for anybody who believes in that. I think it was both sides. Absolutely. That's why the show's called The Independent Mouth. 834 unaccompanied migrant children were encountered at the southern U.S. border on Wednesday, the highest daily number on record. Period. That's all you have to say is period. Biden is a waste of space. Kamala Harris is useless. This entire thing is a fraud. Biden also invites children to the desk before signing a bill into law to award 4 congressional gold medals to the U.S. Capitol Police. Why does he always have a little girl sitting on his lap? Pedo Joe. That's it. It's the only thing I'm going to say about him. The guy is disgusting. 350 million vaccinated Americans when there's a total of 355 million Americans in the United States? Not even close, bud. Not even close. You probably have about a third of those people maybe getting vaccinated. The rest of the people are not. So, good try, you jackass. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But we did find Arizona State Senator Tony Navarrete, a Democrat from Phoenix, was arrested on Thursday on multiple charges, including counts of sexual conduct with a minor. So how many more times do we have to see this from Congress people that actually get voted in, that are actually part of this? How many more times do we have to see this before people start throwing tomatoes, get nauseous? I mean, this it's absolutely disgusting. And how are they getting into Congress without any of this stuff ever being found? What kind of job is the FBI, CIA, or any of the background checks actually doing? But yet, we want to sit there and yell at Kavanaugh. We want to sit there and yell at anybody else that's possibly coming in, and you're saying that you're getting background checks? Where are the background checks for the senators or Congress people that are walking into the state capitol? Why isn't it being done? And you're just finding this out now, yet they start slandering and throwing all of these accusations against Matt Gaetz, and then you have someone specifically on there from the state of Arizona who's caught. You're fucking pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Like, it's not even close. Oh, man, oh, man. Here it is, just to show you. Public health officials in England say nearly 35% of hospitalized with COVID-19 had received 2 doses of the vaccine. It's a bunch of fraud, guys. Absolute fraud. Absolute fraud. 9/11 families reach out to Biden over his refusal to release September 11 documents. He refused to release them. Don't come to our memorial events, according to ABC. He lost them, man. Anybody who was blue that had somebody involved in that and they're not releasing the documents, he now lost them. He lost them before. They were just on the anti-Trump train. He never really had them. They would have jumped to anybody because they were told to hate Trump so much. They would have jumped to anybody. And the truth is, they probably didn't jump to Joe. They probably voted for Trump and then you dealt with the elections. We'll get into that in a second. Twitter temporarily restricts the account of Donald Trump's chief spokeswoman, Liz Harrington. How does that sound? Huh? Okay. Now we're going to go into this little news release here from the U.S. Central Command concludes that the drone that struck the Mercer Street tanker was produced by Iran. Remember we told you that there was a drone strike on one of our ships, and there was some action kind of going in on that, that end of the world? It was Iran. And then I said also in one of the last podcasts, I said, if you want to know where all this destruction starts, it's Iran. It's absolutely Iran. No? But, why are we going to believe that, right? Okay. Another huge move out of Wisconsin. Huge move out of Wisconsin. Janelle Brandtjen, state representative, moving forward with the audit, and the legislative committee issues the subpoenas demanding extensive election materials, including ballots and voting machines from 2 Wisconsin counties, according to the AP. Now, today, State Representative Janelle Brandtjen, Montgomery Falls, announced the issuance of subpoenas for election materials from Milwaukee and the Brown counties in the furtherance of assembly campaigns and election committees, top to bottom. Investigation of the 2020 presidential general election is directed and enrolled in 2021 Assembly Resolution 15. Legislators have been hearing from thousands of disgruntled constituents regarding their concerns with the November 2020 election, from outside money pouring into Democratic-controlled communities to individuals engaging in questionable activities, from inappropriate guidance given to clerks from the Wisconsin Elections Commissions to clerks illegally promoting voters to declare themselves indefinitely confined. The list goes on. I understand the Legislative Audit Bureau is conducting an audit. However, many constituents have raised objections to it due to the length of time it has taken and the lack of specifics, as it is open-ended. I also appreciate that the Committee on Assemblist Organization has authorized the Speaker to hire legal counsel and employ investigators to assist the Assembly Committee on campaigns and elections in investigating the administration of elections in Wisconsin, and that additional resources are being provided for that purpose. I sincerely welcome and applaud these efforts. However, the people of Wisconsin demand and deserve a transparent, full cyber forensic audit as described in the subpoenas submitted to both Milwaukee and Brown counties. The clock is ticking as the 2022 elections will commence in just a matter of months. As the chair of the Assembly Committee of the Campaigns and Elections, I am issuing these subpoenas as the first step towards a full cyber forensic audit of tabulators and inspection of the physical ballots from the November 2020 fall election. So they're following, once again, Arizona, as we had said. Arizona would be the stopgap. It would be the first and foremost of all places in which this stuff would actually be checked. That's pretty funny, isn't it? No? You guys think so or no? Because I think it's pretty funny. I think the fact that we're actually getting the information that just continues to leak and leak and leak and leak out and leak out even more, and continues to leak out. There's so much more to it. New York Governor Cuomo is not resigning. His attorney made it clear that he isn't going down without a fight. Cuomo's personal attorney pointed to instances in which she alleged New York State AG Letitia James' report was factually incorrect and biased. This dude is squirming. He is squirming. Cuomo is petrified. So also, too, is he's got 11 accusations. It's not 1. It's not 2. It's not 3. It's 11. If that was you, me, or anyone else, we'd be held without bail. He has 11. And he's still running around and saying that these things aren't his fault. How does anybody, just please let me know, how is anybody actually taking this dude seriously? First and foremost, I'd like to say this. Cuomo, take your brother, take your entire family, take all the athletes that don't care about the United States. First and foremost, sit on the top of the Tappan Zee Bridge, eat the entire bag, choke on the crumbs, and when you're done, take your whack-ass name off our fucking bridge. Thank you. That's my public service announcement. Okay? If you look at the list of misfits that Biden's trying to put in places, it's pretty simple for you to look and see that there's something off with these people. Okay? Man, oh man. If you had followed Lynn Wood, you would understand that on Twitter, there's a whistleblower that he interviewed several months ago, and Stu Peters interviewed recently. They banned him. They suspended his account from Twitter. The second that they knew that he was a whistleblower, they banned him. Okay? They tried to silence him. Anything that could possibly come back, they're doing it. Now, Brittany's losing her mind a little bit. Maybe she knows a little bit of stuff that's going on, but if you hadn't paid attention to the censorship deal with Brittany, where essentially she really couldn't open her mouth, and now she's able to open her mouth, just know it's like alphabet soup. And it's not in order. Just to let you know. It's not in order. It's not even close to an order. But I hope she really is doing a lot of good, and I hope that the things that she is going and talking about and the way that she's fighting absolutely is for the good. And I think that, unfortunately, she knows a little too much from all the people that she's dealt with already in Hollywood. Absolutely. Now, I know for a fact, okay, this is crazy. I know for a fact there's going to be information coming out against Chris Cuomo. I know for a fact the Andrew Cuomo thing, without a doubt, is not done. And I also know for a fact that when we hear more about what is coming out regarding the election, regarding just how much true information we've actually gotten, okay, from COVID, you guys are going to be pissed. People are going to be pissed. This is going to cause a problem. It is going to cause people an absolute problem. Why? Because this has damaged so many people's lives. And now you're trying to say that the CDC can tell you whether or not you can live in your home or own your home anymore. A couple weeks ago, even in the last episodes, I said very clearly, money laundering will be happening. And it comes in the form of investments. China and other countries can dump billions and billions and billions into the United States real estate market and control neighborhoods. What does this mean? No more purchasing and more renting. Right? Trying to tell you. It's a whole different ballgame now. It is not the same way. You guys think it's just a matter of like, oh, they want people to get vaccinated. No, guys. This is a little bit further than that. Now the neighborhood that you think you live in really isn't your neighborhood anymore. It's an investor's neighborhood. They own the neighborhood. You don't own the homes. Don't care if you even have it. You don't own them. Now what? That's how sick it's getting. You didn't see the reports. Maybe you didn't see some of the reports that I posted. I'll read them off to you right now. Pretty sick. Absolutely pretty sick. Sean Parnell, a Pennsylvania U.S. Senate candidate, has urged the state authorities to look into the allegations that aborted babies have been being born alive and then left to die so that their organs could be used for scientific research at the University of Pittsburgh. How's that sound? How's that sound for you? It's pretty gross, isn't it? It's not an extremely rapid-fire news week, but there's some heavy hitters that are dropping. Okay? Heavy hitters that's dropping. And I think the more and more that we go through this and the more and more that you're seeing the protests in other places and the more and more that you're starting to watch other people really freak out and get involved, the more and more that you're going to appreciate what we do here on this show, the more and more that you're going to appreciate how much fight that we are giving to try and make a better world, and how much more you're going to appreciate how much we truly appreciate you. I want everybody, if you can, have yourself the best weekend you possibly can. Go enjoy yourselves. Let's get back to what we're doing. Stay off your phones if you can. Try and enjoy. Watch TV. Have fun. Go outside. And just enjoy life. Stay away from social media if you can. But I'm going to be back on Monday. And we're going to start rapid firing again come Monday. It's going to be a big news weekend. You won't hear much of it, but we'll have a lot for you come Monday. And next week may be a plateau from hell. So be ready. Just want to let you all know I love you, and thank you so much for all your love and support. I can't thank you enough. I'm here for you, and I will always give my best to do the best for you. Once again, I am your host, Anthony, and you've been listening to The Independent Mouth. We'll see everybody at the next show. Thank you for listening.